What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. Yesterday, Niantic announced the Solstice Horizons event, and this is a really long event as it's a 9-day event and it's coupled with a Go Rocket takeover. We have a ton of information to cover, so let's go ahead and hop into it. I feel like whenever I have this kind of setup for a video, that's how you know that there is a ton of information to cover. So let's go ahead and hop into it because it might take a hot minute. So yesterday, Niantic announced the Solstice Horizons event, and this event is actually really cool because there's going to be a daytime portion to it with certain spawns that come out during the day, and there's going to be a nighttime portion where different spawns come out. So whether you get a chance to play during the day or at night, you're always going to have something to catch. But the Solstice Horizons event is set to run from Friday, June 16th at 10 a.m. local time to Sunday, June 25th at 8 p.m. local time. So like I said, this is a long event. It's a 9-day event. And during the middle of this event, we also have a Go Rocket takeover, which we'll get to in due time. But like I mentioned, there is going to be wild encounters that you can encounter during the day and different spawns for the nighttime. So for the wild encounters for the daytime, you'll be able to encounter Ledyba, Murkrow, Solrock, Drifloon, Purloin, Swaddle, Cottony, Petalil, Fomantis, and if you're lucky, Hisuian Sneasel, which that is a very rare spawn. So if you are able to play during the day, this is definitely going to be a spawn that you want to keep an eye out for. Not to mention, shiny Fomantis will be making its shiny debut during this event as well. So we're getting a brand new shiny, and you may be able to encounter one of the rarer spawns, which is Hisuian Sneasel. Ledyba, Murkrow, Solrock, Drifloon, Purloin, Cottony, and Fomantis can all be shiny. However, Swaddle, Petalil, and Hisuian Sneasel will not be able to be caught as shinies. As for the night encounters, you'll be able to encounter Oddish, Spinarak, Misdreavus, which is one of my favorite little ghost types, and one of the reasons why Fluttermane is one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. Lunatone, very fitting considering the daytime spawns had Solrock, Stunky, Venipede, Fungus, Phantump, which I heard Trevenant is very good in the Go Battle League, Fomantis, and if you're lucky, regular Sneasel. All of which can be shiny except for Phantump and Stunky. So you can get regular Sneasel as a shiny, but you cannot yet get Hisuian Sneasel as a shiny. And it looks like we will also be getting a special research storyline, which is called Starry Skies. And it looks like it'll be giving us another encounter with Cosmog, which we did get during a previous event, but obviously Cosmog evolves into either Lunala or Solgaleo. So you had to pick and choose which one you wanted. So we kind of needed another encounter with Cosmog if you wanted to get the other Pokemon that it would evolve into. And I heard that they actually updated this research because before, the only way that you were able to encounter Cosmog again was if you paid the $5 for the research, but I believe they updated it so that everybody gets a second encounter with Cosmog, but the $5 one should give you an extra encounter on top of that. But let's go ahead and read just to confirm what all of the people on Twitter were saying. So it says here, Starry Skies, a new research story starring Cosmog, will be available to trainers level 5 and up at no cost. Just log in between Friday, June 16th at 10 a.m. and Sunday, June 25th at 8 p.m. local time to begin. So you will be able to claim this research for free as long as you log into the game during the event timeline. They then go on to say, plus for $5 US or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency, you can play through Starry Skies a second time and encounter Cosmog again. So yes, it looks like they did update it so that everybody gets a free encounter with Cosmog, so that you can complete your decks and get either Solgaleo or Lunala, whichever you don't have yet. And if you do want a third encounter with Cosmog, you are able to pay the $5 for the special research storyline. And then it says you can purchase a ticket for a second go at this special research story during the event until Sunday, June 25th at 8 p.m. local time. Ticket holders will gain access to the special research storyline during the Solstice Horizons event. To receive the special research, you must open Pokemon Go at some point between Friday, June 16th at 10 a.m. and Sunday, June 25th at 8 p.m. local time. After you've received the special research, you can complete it at any time. So this is not timed research. You just have to log in during the actual event in order to claim the research, but you can do it at your own pace. And it looks like they are doing some kind of promo for the actual web store, not the in-game store, the one where you had to physically log into a browser on like your laptop or desktop, whatever. But it says here early access plus a big discount on the web store, exclusive Solstice box, which this is just one of the incentives that they've used in order for people to actually go to the web store, is they do offer like exclusive boxes at a cheaper rate and of course extras that you wouldn't be able to get in the in-game shop. But they then go on to say need some extra items to make the most of the Solstice Horizons event. Trainers who use the Pokemon Go web store will get exclusive early access to a discounted Solstice box 2 days before it hits the in-game shop. So if you wanted a cheaper rate as well as early access to this box, you can do so if you use the web store. And it looks like the special bundle includes the following: 3 remote raid passes, 9 super incubators, and 9 golden raspberries. And of course, they do have to clarify that the Solstice box will be available in the in-game shop after the initial exclusivity window. So after those initial 2 days where you can get it early if you go through the actual web store versus the in-game shop, it will then be available for everyone in the actual in-game shop. But it will not be at the discounted price. It will be at full price. We also have a couple of event bonuses that will be available throughout the event, including 2x Stardust for catching Pokemon, as well as Lunatone and Solrock both appearing in the wild during the event, regardless of your location, since these are regional spawns. So if you only had one or the other, depending on where you live, this is your chance to get both of them. It looks like we'll also have a couple of event raids. In 1-star raids, you'll be able to encounter Sneasel and Hisuian Sneasel, Rockruff, and Fomantis, all of which can be shiny except for Hisuian Sneasel. And 3-star raids, you'll be able to encounter Noctowl, Espeon, my favorite, Umbreon, another one of my favorites, and Staraptor, none of which can be shiny. And in 5-star raids, we'll be able to encounter Nihilego, which can be shiny. And our featured Mega Raid is going to be Mega Sceptile. There will also, of course, be field research throughout the event as well, which among other rewards, you'll be able to encounter Fomantis, which can of course be shiny. And it does look like we will be having a collection challenge as well. And it says here, complete the event themed collection challenges to receive Stardust and extra encounters with Fomantis as well. So that's everything for the Solstice Horizons event. But like I said, during this event, we are also getting a Team Go Rocket takeover. So we are not done yet. So the Team Go Rocket takeover will be taking place on Wednesday, June 21st at 12 a.m. and it will go until Sunday, June 25th at 11:59 p.m. local time. And it looks like Giovanni is getting a new Shadow Legendary, which is Shadow Regirock. A little underwhelming, but it's a new Shadow Legendary. It says here, you may have a rocky road to victory ahead of you as you face off against Giovanni and his Shadow Regirock. A new special research story will be available at the beginning of this event. Progress through it to receive a Super Rocket Radar and chase down Giovanni. You can claim this special research until the end of Pokemon Go Hidden Gems on September 1st at 10 a.m. local time. So you do have quite a long time in order to claim this special research storyline. Event bonus wise, it will be the usual, which means that Team Go Rocket will be appearing more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. And one of the most beneficial event bonuses is that you will be able to TM Frustration off of your Shadow Pokemon, which means if you were able to catch those Shadow Mewtwo's in raids a couple of weeks ago, you will now be able to TM Frustration off of them and actually use them. And Shadow Articuno, since we just had those recently as well. However, it does look like we are getting some updates to these Shadow Pokemon that can be encountered when you do encounter Team Go Rocket Grunts, as well as the leaders. So it says here, Team Go Rocket Grunts, as well as their leaders Sierra, Cliff, and Arlo, are also using different Shadow Pokemon, help Spark, Blanche, and Candela overcome their adversaries and rescue the Shadow Pokemon. If you're lucky, you may encounter different shiny Shadow Pokemon than normal. So it looks like we are getting new Shadow shiny Pokemon added to the mix. But that also probably means that some of them are now leaving rotation, so definitely something to keep in mind. It then says, additionally, Team Go Rocket has also turned the following Pokemon into Shadow Pokemon. Defeat Team Go Rocket Grunts to save them. And of course, remember that we can now encounter Shadow Shinies by battling Grunts as well, so you don't just have to wait for the Team Go Rocket leaders. But it looks like the featured Shadow Pokemon are going to be Shadow Alolan Geodude, Shadow Ledybah, Shadow Hitmontop, Shadow Glammeow, Shadow Gibble, and more. We will also, of course, be getting some 12-kilometer egg hatches, including Larvitar, Absol, Scorpy, Sandile, Scraggy, Pawniard, Vullaby, Dino, Pancham, Inkay, Skrelp, and Salandit, which, in case you didn't notice, it is going to be Shiny Pancham's debut. And it looks like the only Pokemon that will not be available as shinies are going to be Sandile, Scraggy, Skrelp, and Salandit. But that's pretty cool that we're getting 2 new shinies these during this event. I mean, technically they're separate events, but they're also kind of the same event because they're happening at the same time, but I digress. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for our Solstice Horizons event, as well as our Team Go Rocket takeover. I know that was a ton of information, so hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, I kindly suggest that you consider subscribing so that I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you are already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.